never would I have thought that Justin Cope would be what the Julius fans are inhaling in this chapter. Never. It is hilarious to see some of the reactions to this, because I think everyone knows deep down in their hearts that Julius is cooked. They're afraid of that reality because my man Agito was cooking Julius the entire chapter, non-stop. Julius has not gotten any substantial progress in this fight so far. It's been 2 chapters, no progress. But before we talk more about this, let's get to the chapter. This is a review and breakdown, so I'll cover that as we go on with the chapter, as well as my complete thoughts towards the end. And so we open the chapter with Julius basically recounting everything he knows about Agito. He has these martial arts, plus formless, and then he has the formless. Of course, Julius is worried about the formless first and foremost, but if he manages to land the hit, he will basically win. The problem is predicting the movements of formless. That's where his problem is. At least in theory. Before this match, Julius has something else to deal with here, and that is Agito pulling out what seems to be a new thing here that looks like, when he's swinging around, it looks like infinity, although formless does also have that style a little bit. And so Julius's plan is just to corner Agito, because this is an arena match, and so you kind of need to stay within the arena, meaning that Julius is actually at an advantage here, because if he can do everything right, or at least most things right, he can get Agito cornered. And when he does that, he will be able to smash him decisively. And so, of course, he charges up a tackle and he just goes straight for Agito here. Like, he's going pretty fast. He's really about to ram him. And Yamashita is here. He's like, man, this is not looking good for Agito, because even if he dodges, he can't get too far away from Julius. And so he'll be in reach of his basically ultimate move. I forgot the name of this move, but yeah, it's his big attack that will more than likely just one-shot him if he gets hit by it. But it doesn't seem like Agito is gonna move until the very last second, and it seems like he narrowly dodges Julius's attack, or his tackle, let's say. And Julius, he's stunned. He's like, oh my god, what is it? And in that confusion, Agito launches a dragon shot to the head. I thought the fight was over here. I was like, my man Julius is finished. It was a low diff. Let's go home. But Julius is durable. He is the big strong man of the series, you could say, even though Toei exists and a lot of other characters like Sekabayashi, but he's also a big boy as well. He's a staple big boy. And so he manages to endure the hit, but he's left there. He's standing for a bit. Like, you can tell it hurt him. And even the commentators like Jerry are saying like, man, he took serious damage from that blow. Of course he did. It's the dragon shot to the face. It is going to hurt. And Okubo is like, yeah, Julius, Agito isn't a slouch. Which, I mean, duh. But Justin, he's watching this fight and he's like, wait a minute. These guys are really tough. I think it's now dawning on Justin that he's in the fight against the strongest. Like, Okubo has literally set this man up against wolves while this man is still a little lamb. But Justin can be the dark horse of this tournament. That isn't out of the cards, but he is stunned at this performance. He's like, whoa, this seems like this is above my pay grade, Okubo. But we then go back to the fight itself, and Julius, he undoes The God Killer Rocket Drills is one of the commentators, I forgot her name. That's what they call Julius's move. He basically undoes that. My guess is that it's probably too straining to keep it on, and considering he just took a dragon shot to the face, he probably can't keep that on standby as much anymore. And so he does have a setback, but this could result in him being faster or being more free to move. But going into Julius's head, he is stunned. He doesn't understand what's happening to him right now, because right now he also sees that he is getting overwhelmed, aka he is getting low diffed here. At least as things stand, Agito is looking like he's going to clear this man hitless. And the reason why that's stunning is because Julius didn't think that he had, of course, underestimated Agito, but something has changed, and Agito, he's still coming at him with this new move, and oh boy, he hits Julius straight in the face. And of course, Julius, he manages to grab his hand, and this seems to have been the plan for Julius, so that he could at least get Agito where he wanted him. But of course, I'm just guessing here. Either way, if I'm wrong, it was a dumb idea. But if I'm right, it was still a dumb idea, because Agito, he kicks this man in the knees and you hear a crack. That's bad. Julius is walking, or more specifically, how mobile he is in this fight may be nerfed thanks to this moment right here. Again, everything is just stacking up. The list of bad things for Julius are just stacking up here. And to add insult to injury, he then kicks Julius in the face as well, sending him back a bit. And Yamashita, he's like, oh my god, Agito, he's become too strong. And he is just rushing at Julius. Julius, he can't do much of anything besides, of course, trying to counterattack, trying to defend. And it's looking pretty bad here. It's like Julius is even backing away. He's lost his God Killer Rocket Drills, I'm gonna call it that too. He can't do anything to Agito and has not done anything to Agito so far, and he's being pushed back. Add to that as well his damaged leg probably, and you're looking at an insane mid-diff at best, low diff in reality. And Carlos is like, oh my god, what has happened here? And Gaulag is like, oh, he's silent. He's just watching this. He's like, oh boy, even if I beat Justin, if Agito makes it up there, I'm probably cooked. And if he doesn't make it up there, then I'm probably cooked times 2. We then cut over to Yan towards the end of the fight, and he even knows that he's stronger than when they had their own confrontation here. And he talks about the side effects of this tournament, specifically pertaining to the connector, of course, Shen Wulong. And that is the end of the chapter. Look, you can tell by the way I broke that chapter down. I think Julius is cooked. I think that this is going to be a low diff of the tournament. I think Agito is going to get a better challenge against Lo Long, if Lo Long even makes it against his opponent. Could Julius make a comeback? Technically, yes. And this is something I will talk about later on, not later on, in another video, because I've noticed this trend when it comes to this tournament and the setup for this tournament. But long story short, it is possible. But the reality is that if Julius's injuries are as bad as I think they are, even if he wins, he won't make it that far. If Lo Long wins the next fight, he will basically defeat Julius. Because again, that crack when he hit his knee, that's a bad injury. And I know some people are saying that Justin won against Sakigake. So because that happened, we might get another upset, and that Sandrovich is basically writing the same type of fight for, like, let's say the 3rd time. Because Justin versus Sakigake was similar to Gao Lang versus Gerada in a lot of ways, I would say. But Here's the most important part, and I've already mentioned this. Justin wasn't getting this critically injured. He got him in the face, but nothing like the crack to the knee that we got from Agito or the dragon shot to the face. Even in Gerarda's case, who was in a similar position to Justin, he didn't take any critical hits until the very end, and that's when he lost. And that's really my point here. It's not looking good for Julius. If you've made it this far, you of course like the content, like, sub, and until next time, take it easy.